To make kimchi fried rice, we need spring onions, vegetable oil, kimchi, vinegar, sugar, soy sauce, chili flakes, rice, sesame oil, sesame seed, and yes, MSG. If you ever wonder why restaurant food tastes so good, it's because you're missing this. This is kimchi. Basically, it's salted Asian cabbage with spices, which is then fermented to develop flavors. The perfect kimchi to use for fried rice is kimchi that has developed a nice sour note, but is still pleasant to eat fresh. People often get put off by the fact that kimchi is fermented food, but just remember that everyone's favorite food, cheese, is also made by fermenting milk. If you don't like cheese, then you're worse than a parasite. Great movie, by the way. Oh, you're lactose intolerant? Ah, shit. If your kimchi lacked a sour note, you can add vinegar. Adding sugar will also help caramelize the kimchi when it hits the pan. When I was younger, I tried so hard to improve my mom's kimchi because, how do I say this nicely? It tasted like sh. Hi, Mom. No, I'm not a doctor yet. Oh. She hung up. Well, speaking of mums, do not chop the kimchi on the chopping board, as it will stain it. You get the wrath of your mother in your face. Instead, put the kimchi in a bowl and cut it with your scissors. If you want to radiate Korean big dick energy, which isn't very big, but it works right. It's not that impressive though. I mean, God delivered it, so I signed for it, but it's just not impressive, you know? Guess it's kinda functional. Anyways, to radiate that big dick energy, you want to show people that your kimchi is so delicious that you don't need to add any extra ingredients. So, we're going to try to hide all the extra ingredients we've used. So only use the white tips of the spring onions, and chop them as finely as you can. You won't be able to spot any spring onions when it's mixed in the rice. One of the biggest mistakes I've seen people make when making fried rice is that they use hot rice. Using hot rice is okay, but it will add too much moisture to the fried rice, so it will end up being soggy. So if you're planning to make fried rice, make sure you cool down the rice first by putting it in the fridge. You can also use instant rice. These are actually perfect for fried rice because they're already hard and cold. But I'm not going to be using it today because I bought this as a prop, and I have to keep it sealed so I can get a refund. Add vegetable oil. Anything is fine except for olive oil, because the taste is too strong. Cook the spring onions on low heat until it browns. This will flavor the oil and essentially make spring onion oil. When the spring onion is browned, turn the heat to medium and add the kimchi. Stir constantly so it doesn't stick to the pan. Crank up the heat and make a hole in the middle of the pan. Pour the soy sauce in the middle and leave it until you almost burn the soy sauce. This will mimic a flaming flavor. Cook it until you see browning. If your kimchi doesn't look red enough, you can add fine and coarse chili flakes to give it more color. Add the cold rice to the pan and break it down by squashing it. It's best to use a ladle, but I broke mine last week doing some cooking. I don't need to explain my private life to you. Also, we're going to improve our cooking by shh. Don't say it. When you have finished mixing the rice, turn the heat off and add the sesame oil. If you apply direct heat to sesame oil, you're going to lose a lot of flavor. We're also going to make a fried egg as a topping. Get a small pan and add plenty of oil. When it's hot, add an egg. You want to constantly baste the egg with oil, which will help to fry the egg evenly. If you prefer a runny yolk, simply don't baste the yolk. If you want to present this dish well because you're cooking for a date, put the fried rice in the bowl, then put it face down on the plate. Generally, with any sort of rice or pasta dishes, the higher you stack, the better it will look. Add sesame seeds, then add the fried egg on top. Serve the dish. Man, it tastes so aggressive. Do you want to try some? Perfect. Really? If you're in a relationship, which I highly doubt, and your partner doesn't like kimchi because they're trash, you can try to fool them into liking kimchi by using this recipe. They've done studies, you know. 60% of the time, it works every time. We're going to need the same ingredients, but additionally, we need canned sweet corn, mozzarella cheese, and seaweed flakes. Seaweed flakes are a pre-cut version of this packaged seaweed, but you can essentially use any kind of roasted seaweed as long as it's covered in MSG. You don't have to use it, but if you completely mess up the fried rice, this will cover your horrible cooking skills. Chop the spring onions and kimchi like before. Add the vegetable oil into the pan, and cook the spring onions in low heat. When spring onions brown, turn the heat to medium and add kimchi. Turn the heat up and burn the soy sauce like before. Cook the kimchi down and add chili flakes to add color. You have to be quick once the chili flake hits the pan, otherwise they'll burn. Add MSG and move the mixture into a bowl. Add the cold rice and mix it until everything is combined. Add a lot of seaweed flakes and mix it again. You can add things like tuna or spam after crushing them in a plastic bag, but I won't be using them today because I need to return them for a refund so I can feed my family. Get the pan, put the rice in and flatten it down. The layer needs to be fairly thin because we want it to be semi-crispy at the bottom and soft on the top. Once it's flattened, turn the heat to medium. Add mozzarella cheese and put the lid on top. The only reason why we're using mozzarella cheese is to show off their stretchiness. Using other cheese is fine, but obviously it won't stretch as much and look as good. When the cheese is melted, add the drained canned sweet corn on top and slide it onto the plate like this. Fold it like a quesadilla, but if it breaks, you can just use your spoon to shape it again. Serve it with Japanese mayo on top. Can you eat it for me? Because I can't eat it. I'm lactose intolerant. Alright, that's it.
Ah.